Your worship.
We'll talk later.
Pleasure as always, boss.
See you later, Bull.
Nice talking with you, boss.
Once we ran through the fields with great stride. We held the
Inquisitor.
fate of the demon's flight.
He looks like he could slit a throat. Not think twice.
You are that good at judge of character?
Hey, you. You have time? It's not a question. Let's go. I've got something I want to do for you. Just come. You won't need your gear and stuff.
With you, I'll do anything.
I bet, yeah. Come on, let's do it.
We're eating on a roof.
They're horrible, right? And raisins. Ugh. I freaking still hate cookies.
No, it's just that this is all a little confusing.
I got caught stealing when I was little, yeah? You get alienage or worse for that, but the Lady Emerald took me in. She was sick and couldn't have children. I had no parents. It worked out. Anyway, she gets a year sicker, so I ask her about cookies. Because mums make cookies. I can pass that down or something. Turns out, she couldn't cook. She missed that talk with her mom. The ones she made, she bought and pretended. Ah, right. Well, no, she was a bitch. She hid buying them by keeping me away from the baker. She did that by lying that he didn't like me, didn't like elves. She let me hate so she could protect her pride. I hated him so much, and I hated... Well, she died. And I hate pride. Pride cookies. But this is great, you're great, so I thought maybe me and you could make some, I don't know, us cookies. Because then I could like them again. Oh, it's stupid.
You know what? That would be great.
See, I knew. Wait, really? Because it seemed friggin' daft every step to me. Oh, piss balls. I could have made a whole dirty thing about your biscuit. Or muffins. Muffins on the roof. Because tits.
Sarah, this is silly, wonderful fun. Just like you.
That's good, right? Because the roof was a really bad idea. Can't do it on a roof.
Then let's get off this roof and have fun somewhere else.
Get off. You better start running.
Have you seen otherwise?
Sarah!
Hiya! Who's that? Shiny! Listen, I got you a hat, but it's ugly, so I drew Criffy What's-Its-Face on it and stuffed it with apples. Everyone's hitting it with sticks! I really hope you like it.
We're giving gifts now?
Hey, boss. How are you?
I want to get Sarah something to show I'm serious. Thoughts on the right gift?
So, you and her, huh? Nice. But you're right. It's hard to say what she'd want that she hasn't just taken and gotten bored with already. I'm drawing a blank. I'd offer positions or something, but I play a power game, and she's all about the limber. Nice catch, though, boss. Good on ya.
No, they don't.
It's just what I heard. It started out helping, taking the fear away. I won't take too much. I am not that.
I want to show Sarah how I feel. You have a different perspective. Any ideas on what to get her?
A gift that means feelings. So it's something it isn't. I don't think that works outside the Fade. Or in it. Don't give her a gift in the Fade. That would go very bad. She would make it very bad. I'm not much help. Sorry.
Good book?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, because I suddenly went blind.
Oh, that. Just reports from Commander Cullen.
You're an excellent liar.
It's of no interest to you, I'm certain. It's a book.
I can see that.
It's one of Varric's tales. Swords and Shields, the latest chapter.
The latest chapter. Meaning, you've read them all?
Not since this all began. We've been busy.
That's just her favorite.
Nobody asked you to Winter.
I couldn't finish the last one you lent me. I actually feel dumber for having tried.
It's literature. Smutty literature. Whatever you do, don't tell Varric.
Why not? I think Varric would be pleased to have another fan.
Pleased? Yes, that's one word for it. They're terrible. And magnificent. And this one ends in a cliffhanger. I know Varric is working on the next. He must be. Pretend you don't know this about me. I trust all is well.
I want to give Sarah a gift that shows I'm serious about her. Any idea what she would like?
You, our herald, and Sarah? Ah, you certainly go out of your way to make things difficult, don't you? I've no suggestions. At least none she would willingly accept, such as gaining purpose, or an actual profession. If there's nothing else, I'll get back to work.
I hear they're gone. The whole order.
Thank the Maker. Nothing but trouble.
So, the line of King Callahan the Great has finally ended. I didn't know Alistair that well, but he was a friend of a friend. One of the wardens who ended the Fifth Blight. A big hero to a lot of people. He wasn't the first good man to fall to Corypheus. He won't be the last. This story's no good for heroes.
Some of us heroes will make it. We're just too amazing to die.
Well, if we're both still standing at the end of all this, I'll buy the drinks. Oh, Hawk asked me to tell everyone back in Kirkwall where he's going. Fenris needs to know. Maker, I'm glad I won't be doing this in person. I'd better write some letters. Excuse me. So, You've been he does good work. Nothing compared to Bianca, though.
He told...
That's the envy talking. Bianca is a masterpiece. Three Eyes isn't enough of a craftsman to build anything like her.
I want to give Sarah a gift, to show her how I feel. Any suggestions?
You and Sarah, huh? Good one. That'll make some eyes twitch. A gift, though. Tricky business. Is it too obscure? Is it too on the nose? Will it be taken as intended? Oh, it's a pain in the ass. I wouldn't worry about it. If there's something she wants, she'll say. Well, Sarah's not big on subtext. No footnotes, or, you know, really words of any sort. So, you've been... he does good work. Then I wish you luck. The world could probably use a few more smiths that good.
Cassandra's waiting for the next issue of Swords and Shields.
I must have heard that wrong. It sounded like you just said that Cassandra read my books.
She's a pretty big fan, in fact.
Are we talking about the same Cassandra? Tall, grumpy seeker, like stabbing things? Wait, did you say the romance serial? Oh, she'll be waiting for a while then. I haven't finished it and wasn't planning to. That book is easily the worst I've ever written. The last issue barely sold enough to pay for the ink.
Well, Cassandra seems to be hooked on it.
And I honestly thought a hole in the sky was the weirdest thing that could happen. So, you want me to finish writing the latest issue of my worst serial for Cassandra? Oh, that's such a terrible idea. I have to do it. On one condition. I get to be there when you give her the book.
You've got a deal.
I'll get to work then. You know, the fact that the book is terrible just makes it more worthwhile somehow.
How can I help?
I want to show Sarah how I feel. Any suggestions for a good gift?
You and... I see.
You won't help?
I can't. The way she's been raised, she's no more of an elf than I am a horse. I have no insight in what she could want. Something human and fleeting, no doubt.
You have remarkably little here on early to Winter history. All these gifts to the Inquisition, and the best they can do is the Malefica Imperio. Trite propaganda. But if you want 20 volumes on whether Divine Galatea took a shit on Sunday, this is evidently the place to find it.
That's the Dorian I know. Critiquing every book in my library.
I wouldn't have to, if you could find some rebellious heretic archivist to join the cause.
Are there rebellious archivists? Other than you, that is.
If Corypheus ever starts burning masterworks of literature, I'm sure a few will pop up. Did I see something by Genitivi here? I could have sworn.
What is this about, Dorian?
What else could it be about? What happened at Adamant, of course. We went into the Fade. Physically went in. Are you... all right?
It was like walking in a nightmare, but everything was real. I couldn't...
The Fade is an ordeal under normal circumstances. To be the only real thing there, beyond description. That any of us made it out alive is difficult to believe. You do realize this feat hasn't been performed in over 1,000 years. Corypheus and his contemporaries entered the Fade and began the Blights. In comparison...
You're right. I was fortunate.
Indeed. Although there is cause for concern. If you can walk in the Fade, others will try to follow. Who knows what secrets Corypheus has revealed? Not all of them will be as lucky as you. What they could unleash. My advice? Keep this quiet. Let them speculate. Too many will see this as a challenge.
That's a good idea.
There are enough idiots in the world who think if they just use enough blood magic, their problems will vanish. It's exactly the sort of thing I want to stop back home. This I don't need. What I do need is a copy of the Liberalum. I'll wager I can find Corypheus's real name. If I can prove he was a grasping ankle-biter with no family to speak of, the luster would come right off. Wish me luck. Here we are again.
I'm looking for ideas for something to give Sarah. To show her I'm serious.
Right. You want the Lover's Red. Nestle a Feltamont rose to your heart and take it to the west peak of Mount Azazet. As dawn breaks, bare your chest. 9 seconds of that cold sun will tease the petals to the color of love's first blush.
Is that a thing?
No, complete nonsense. As is trying to please that imp with any material gift. Good luck, Inquisitor. It's not a hunt I'd bet on.
The new throne in the Great Hall is marvelous, my dear. Your taste is impeccable.
Thank you, Vivian. I'm glad you approve.
When things have settled down a bit, I will take you to Val Royo and introduce you to my seamstress. And appearances are important. We can't have you mistaken for a commoner.
I suppose it's important to show that we're an authority to be respected.
Not just respected, my dear. Awed, feared, aspired to. You command an army of the faithful, outfitted by the coin of the nobility. You must be a woman who commoners aspire to be, and to whom nobles bow.
It's quite a lot for one person to pull off, don't you think?
It is a challenge all great leaders must face, Inquisitor. The stories of your accomplishments will spread, and with them, doubt. Are you truly the woman from the tales? They will question what they've heard, but they will believe what they see. They must see someone greater than legends.
If that's your standard for me, what does the Divine have to live up to?
Andraste and the Maker cast very large shadows. The Divine absolutely must set the example for all Thedas. She must seem to be the embodiment of the Maker to the faithful. She needs the authority of the Maker and the charisma of Andraste. It will be no small task to fill that vacant throne. You walked physically through the Fade. Please tell me what you remember.
I had visions. Echoes of what happened to me the first time. The Divine was there. Or something like her.
Manifestations of your own mind, perhaps? Or external memories awakened by your presence? I suppose there's no way to tell. No one else has physically entered the Fade since the Magisters assaulted the Golden City. Oh, I'm positively envious right now.
Your lost books have been found.
I never doubted you, darling. You always get results. Did you need something, darling?
I want to show Sarah I'm serious about her. Any ideas about a gift that would say it?
Oh, seriously? This is why you've bothered me. Just shave something rude into your privates, dear. She won't get the redundancy.
Are you sure? Anything is worth considering.
Of course, my dear. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm doing anything else.
Greetings, Your Worship.
Heard you found something that had to do with wardens. Would have liked to have seen it.
I want to show Sarah how I feel, but can't think of the right gift. Ideas?
You and Sarah? That's a tricky one, actually. It's hard to know what she wants without knowing who she is. You should give her something you think she might like. Doesn't help, I know. Good luck.
Nothing right now. Perhaps in a bit.
Hi, Shiny, what's going on? What is this? You look serious.
I have that thing you wanted. I'll go get it. Remember, it was a...
What? I don't get it.
You gave me a gift. Sort of. I asked everyone and still don't know what to get you in return.
Wait. You went to everyone and said I was your lover. Right to their faces. They must have... Ooh, Vivian must have puckered pinky tight. Best gift ever.
I've never kept you a secret. I don't think it'd be possible.
There's a difference between knowing and having it rubbed in your face, yeah? Hey, I'll show you. On your face. Because I said, just come here. I can't believe you shaved that in your... Andraste's herald is touched, all right. That is...
Get up here. The height difference is silly enough as it is.
Don't worry, I'll get you a box. Because box and... box? Just come here. Shiny!
How are we doing? You and I?
You're alright. Just like when I first laid eyes and wanted to lay other things. Laying, right? It means two things. So, back at you. How are we doing?
We're good. And I hope it keeps on like that.
Well, what else is it going to do? As long as you're not stupid. Come back soon. You better.
What have you done now?
I get it, Seeker. You're still sore after our spat.
I'm not a child, Varric. Do not suggest I'm without reason.
A peace offering. The next chapter of Swords and Shields. I hear you're a fan.
This is your doing.
Oh, yes. Do you really think I'd miss this?
Well, if you're not interested, you're not interested. Still needs editing anyhow.
Wait!
You're probably wondering what happens to the Knight Captain after the last chapter.
Nothing should happen to her. She was falsely accused.
Well, it turns out the guardsman...
Don't tell me!
This is the part where you thank the Inquisitor. I don't normally give sneak peeks, after all.
Thank you.
This was everything I'd hoped.
I know how you feel.
I wonder if I have time to read the first part.
Don't forget to tell all your friends, if you have any. Completely worth it.
Planning troop movements now?
I'm trying to imagine what it will look like when we're done. All of this once belonged to the Tevinter Imperium. Andraste changed that, as did the Blights. As for what will come next, I cannot guess the Maker's plan.
You don't have any ideas of your own?
I know I want a world where people trust the Chantry and that trust is respected. I want to respect tradition, but not fear change. I want to right past wrongs, but not avenge them. And I have no idea if my wanting these things makes any of them right.
Even if they're not right, they're certainly admirable.
Some would disagree. They would call it heresy.
That didn't sound like the ravings of a heretic, Cassandra.
Perhaps not. But it takes precious little effort to paint even an act of compassion as damaging. Tell me, what guides you? You make decisions that shake the world, yet always seem so assured. I wish I had your confidence.
I'm not that assured. I just make it up as I go.
Let all your followers take heart.
What can I say? It's worked so far.
Think of it. Like Andraste long ago, once again the fate of Thedas will be determined by a woman. It makes me proud to know you.
I hope we can call each other friends.
I hope so too. We still have a long road to travel, Inquisitor. Wherever it takes us, I am glad you're here.
we've an interesting development, Inquisitor. A petition from citizens of Val Royeaux. They wish to know what Andraste said to you in the Fade.
They think she spoke to me?
Even Leliana can't trace the rumor's origin. It may be expedient to respond to Andraste's words.
It's not Andraste who saved me.
Few people outside Skyhold know it was Divine Justinia who delivered you from the Fade. You could attempt to tell Val Royeaux citizens the truth, though it may not be as inspiring as they hope.
The Inquisition won't answer their petition. That's all.
They will be disappointed, but rumor will eventually fill in words for us. Let us hope they stay within reason. Adamant's influence continues, your worship. I submit Lord Livius Erimond of Virantium, who remains loyal to Corypheus. We found him alive, offering extreme resistance, likely because the Order will ask for his head. In more colorful terms. To say nothing of justice you might personally require for what was suffered in the Fade.
Countless better men and women than you are dead. Why shouldn't this be quick?
I recognize none of this proceeding. You have no authority to judge me.
On the contrary, many officials have communicated that they will defer to the Inquisitor on this matter.
Because they fear. Not just Corypheus, but Tevinter, rightful ruler of every piece of ground you trod in your pathetic life. I serve a living god. Bring down your blades and free me from the physical. Glory awaits me.
Lord Erimond, any protection you thought you had has apparently been withdrawn. You will die. By my hand.
Petty actions. Truth lies in the next world.
Another of the lingering pains of Adamant, your worship. Sir Ruth is a senior warden of the Order. She was one of the many who slit the throat of another to bind a demon. She does not contest this. In fact, she surrendered to us. She requests no mercy. She wants the public justice of the headman's axe.
You're very serious about this. Is more death the answer?
There is no excuse for my actions. I murdered another of the Order. That blood marks me more than the Blight ever could.
Accepting their actions while thralls of Corypheus, many treaties allow wardens any extreme if it opposes the Blight.
I can't do it. I can't use the greater good to justify my crimes, as if it would create a future I could be a part of. It is wrong that this broke me. I've done worse with full sanction. I can do nothing except be an example of the cost.
Sir Ruth, I'm not a blade you can fall on to hide from your responsibilities. There's no shortage of ways a warden can die. Drag this deserter back to the Order.
I can't do this anymore. I never asked for this.
Mayor Gregory Dedrick of Crestwood is present for betraying his own constituents. He confesses that, 10 years ago, he flooded Old Crestwood to kill refugees and villagers touched by the Blight. The mayor claims it was to spare the rest of Crestwood, but we only have his word.
The mayor has anything to say in his defense, let him speak.
There's no cure for the Blight. But I couldn't convince anyone to leave a sick child or husband behind.
So you herded the infected into one place and flooded Old Crestwood? Were no innocents caught in the waters?
Nearly everyone in the village had the Blight. I swear it. Have mercy. I couldn't tell the survivors I'd drowned their own families to save them. I couldn't.
You committed murder on Ferelden's soil. Let them deal with your punishment. Send him to Denerim. He can live the rest of his life behind their bars.
In prison? Maker. I should have drowned with them.
Before you is Service of the Minratha's Circle of Magi. You met him and his Venatori in the western approach. He admits to working for Corypheus, raising monsters, and using magic for conquest. He also used his connections to smuggle magical artifacts out of the approach, without his master's consent.
You stole from Corypheus? I don't know whether that's stupidly brave or bravely stupid.
I was hired by a third party. I've no loyalty to him. Might you find that useful, Your Worship?
I'm sorry, are you attempting to bargain with us?
Bargain? I plead. I throw myself on your mercy. I also have friends in Tevinter who owe me large debts. Leave what happened in the approach behind us, Inquisitor, and I can put them all at your disposal.
Someone who can smuggle magical artifacts to Tevinter and back shouldn't be wasted on court diplomacy. Bring those artifacts back to the Inquisition. Procure something really useful and we might loosen the shackles.
Your Worship knows value when she sees it. I won't disappoint.
So, you've been hanging out with Three Eyes? He does good work. Nothing could... Then I wish you luck. The world could probably use a few more Smiths that good.
What are your thoughts on the Inquisition?
If there's anybody out there who hasn't joined the Inquisition, they're hiding under a rock. Did you want to take over Ferelden? I think we might be able to conquer it just by looking east.
How do you think Josephine is handling the job of ambassador?
If this Inquisition thing doesn't work out, I may hire her to deal with the Merchants Guild. She'd own them before breakfast.
What do you think of our general?
Find him a war or something. If he spends any more time in the yard drilling, Josephine will have him killed.
What do you think of Liliana's work?
She scares me. Mostly in a good way. At least I'm reasonably sure she's on our side.
Good to know.
Back to work, then.
Good afternoon.
I'd like to hear more.
I think I have shared everything of note.
We'll talk.
Goodbye.
I spoke to Sarah earlier, and the subject of you came up. I'm uncertain what I said, but she spat on the ground like a peasant. I hope she amuses you plenty.
I should go.
You know where I'll be.
Inquisitor. I have been thinking. You remember everything now, yes? The explosion at Haven, the Fade, escaping the breach. In your report, you said Justinia was with you. But only you emerged in the end. Why? Why were you the only survivor?
She knew it was either her or me. And she wanted me to live.
Of course. Of course she did. That's just like her. Her message to me. I failed you too. I'm not sure I understand what that means. Did she say anything else? Anything at all? Please, if you remember.
Wait, you don't know what she meant either?
There are no answers in the Fate. Only illusions. A warped mirror. Justinia has never failed me. I was her left hand. Now she's dead. I failed her.
Inquisitor, if you're looking for the commander, he's gone to speak with Seeker Pentecost.
You asked for my opinion, and I've given it. Why would you expect it to change?
I expect you to keep your word. It's relentless. I can't...
You give yourself too little credit.
If I'm unable to fulfill what vows I kept, then nothing good has come of this. Would you rather save face than admit... We will speak of this later.
And people say I'm stubborn. This is ridiculous. Cullen told you that he's no longer taking lyrium.
Yes. And I respect his decision.
As do I. Not that he's willing to listen. Cullen has asked that I recommend a replacement for him. I refused. It's not necessary. Besides, it would destroy him. He's come so far.
Why didn't he come to me?
We had an agreement long before you joined us. As a Seeker, I could evaluate the dangers.
Is there anything we can do to change his mind?
If anyone could, it's you. Mages have made their suffering known, but Templars never have. They are bound to the Order, mind and soul, with someone always holding their lyrium leash. Cullen has a chance to break that leash, to prove to himself, and anyone who would follow suit, that it's possible. He can do this. I knew that when we met in Kirkwall. Talk to him. Decide if now is the time.
Maker's breath. I didn't hear you enter. Forgive me.
So long as you weren't aiming at me, I'm sure the box had it coming.
I swear, I didn't know you were... I never meant for this to interfere.
Are you going to be all right?
Yes. I don't know. You asked what happened to Ferelden's Circle. It was taken over by abominations. The Templars, my friends, were slaughtered. I was tortured. They tried to break my mind, and I... How can you be the same person after that? Still, I wanted to serve. They sent me to Kirkwall. I trusted my Knight Commander, and for what? Her fear of mages ended in madness. Kirkwall Circle fell. Innocent people died in the streets. Can't you see why I want nothing to do with that life?
Of course I can.
Don't. You should be questioning what I've done. I thought this would be better. That I would regain some control over my life, but these thoughts won't leave me. How many lives depend on our success? I swore myself to this cause. I will not give less to the Inquisition than I did to Chantry. I should be taking it. I should be taking it.
You give enough, Cullen. I'm not asking you for more. The Inquisition can be your chance to start over, if you want it to be.
I don't know if that's possible.
It is.
All right.
Yes?
Nothing right now. Perhaps in a bit.
There's a rumor that Corypheus is in league with Elven forces.
Inquisitor.
Know what it was like. The colors, the smells, the magic. I'm sorry, it's just so exciting. You went into the Fade. If you have time, Inquisitor, do tell.
You seemed excited that I fell into the Fade at Adamant.
Excited? Spring gets me excited. This is a wonder. We can't go there, normally. We don't even dream our way there. I can't even understand what dreams are. But you were there. And came back. Can I take a sample?
A sample?
Oh, that sounded sinister. I meant, can I cut a little piece off of you and do things to it? That didn't sound better, did it?
You'll have a full report of everything I saw. Will that do?
It's a start. I'm sorry, it's just... This is exciting. It all is. Your people cleaned you up after your fall. I wonder if anything is left. So much to think about. What can I do for you?
I'll see you later, Dagna.
I can't wait.
Inquisitor, Elan Vemal. Honored. My colleague Adan was clear. All I'm...
Inquisitor, the soldiers say you banished the demons at Adamant and freed the Grey Warden mages. I understand from Sister Liliana that the truth is somewhat more complex, but no less extraordinary. She said that you spoke with a figure in the Fade that seemed to be the soul of divine Justinia. I suspect many of the faithful would like to know what Justinia told you.
It wasn't Justinia, just a spirit imitating her. Whatever she said is irrelevant.
Those who have been cast down, the demons who would be gods, began to whisper to men from their tombs within the earth. And the men of Tevinter heard, and raised altars to the pretender gods once more. A verse from the Canticle of Threnodies, reminding us quite wisely to avoid the whispers of demons. Now, is there anything I can help you with?
I'd like information on how the fight against Corypheus is affecting the common folk.
They are scared, of course. Many have lost homes or loved ones. I doubt many will sleep well until you have sealed the breach. I have offered what help I can. The rest is for the Inquisition. What more do you wish to know?
Do you have information on people elsewhere?
You have done much for the refugees in the hinterlands. Many who would have starved or frozen owe you their lives. With the rift near Crestwood sealed, the villagers have begun rebuilding their homes and lives. People are vanishing in the hills of Emprise de Lyon. It may be demons or something worse, but they are terrified. More than that I cannot say. It is a chaotic time for all in Olay and Ferelden.
Farewell.
Be well, Inquisitor.
Proper mage tower.
Any Venatori activity?
If my agents find anything, you will be the first to know. What happened in Adamant is a shame.
I'm still reeling over the army of demons. Imagine what would have happened if the Inquisitor hadn't arrived.